Our first guest is the co-president of the Emily Post Institute. She's the author of Higher Etiquette, A Guide to the World of Cannabis from Dispensaries to Dinner Parties, and she's the co-host of the Awesome Etiquette podcast. And basically at this point, she is Wowee family. Please welcome our friend Lizzie Post.
Aw, thank you so much.
Hey.
I feel honored to be considered Wowee family. Thank you.
Oh yeah, you're bonded in.
I mean,
That's like, just
you're
so you know,
bonded in, I
that
guess.
might be the like highlight of my week.
Yes.
Oh my God. And it's only Tuesday.
I know, like we're doing good. We're doing good.
Yeah. How can it get better? Does that mean David and I are mom and dad of the Wowee family?
Aw.
Yeah.
I have a whole other set of parents.
Who
I dig
knew?
this family.
Yeah.
Wow, this
We're
interview is going a
multicultural as
direction
hell.
that. Yeah, I know we're very multicultural. This is the future, America.
Looks like a postcard.
Watch
in
out.
here.
Just adults adopting other adults. Okay, so Lizzie, we're in the holiday season. We're getting ready for it. This year, maybe more than ever, a lot of people are going to be seeing family, perhaps for the first time in a while. And we need to remember our manners, obviously. So this is a heavy question out of the gates, but why do manners seem to completely disappear when it comes to family?
Oh gosh, because supposedly we're around people who unconditionally love us, and with that unconditional love, I think comes like heavy levels of psychological warfare. Like it seems to be, whether it's sibling rivalry or parent-child dynamics, or like senses of self-worth and importance get really twisted when we all seem to get together with the people that we grew up with and were closest to during our formative years. So it's always going to be a roller coaster, and some people have these wonderful families where there is no weirdness that happens, and others are at the state where it's like, no, we do the chosen family thing because we just can't do the family thing anymore. So it's definitely a spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of
Yeah,
that,
my family
family
has-
warfare. I was just
David,
gonna
I
say,
was going to
speaking of
ask you
family
though,
war,
just
that's
this is
okay.
what happens when we're not Lizzie. Last week we were in the same room for a week, and it was fantastic because there was like no. Yeah, it was fantastic. There's no technical lag, and now we're back to the wonderful world of the internet. And man, it's like starting all over again, David.
We're getting there. We're doing it.
You talk. You.
What
make
did
your
you want to
joke.
ask me? It's not good. It's too long. I was just gonna say, speaking of warfare, if my brother is watching, don't try me this year or I'll bear hug you and jump down the stairs. It would have been a lot funnier earlier on.
Yeah. In the
That
same
was
room,
violent
it would have
for
been a
no
lot. But I was gonna say my family manners. I will say this about manners within a family, because like that question to me. I didn't grow up in like I would watch families on television where they'd be like, "May I please be excused from the table?" and like that shit. And I was like, we would like burp. Like I would be like listening. I remember I would bring my boombox with headphones plugged into it when I was mad at my parents and listen to it, but not on a Walkman, like a full boombox with headphones plugged into it. So what I'm getting at is like manners in my household have never existed. So I don't even know what that would mean to have manners. Maybe with extended family I have manners, but certainly not with my parents and sister.
Okay.
I like that. I also like that you had a boombox and you plugged the headphones into it. That's a very big
Yeah, it was a
move.
pink boombox. It was the 90s. Yeah, I wanted to make a statement.
Yeah, it's very
I think they got the
performative.
message.
It's
You
very
grew into an actress, so it worked out. Okay, I have a thing. Big thing people deal with over the holidays. Obviously, splitting time between families on holidays. I know this tears people apart. Are there rules or etiquette when it comes to this like major issue?
I think that the best thing you can do is plan really well and communicate really clearly. I know with my family what our traditions are, roughly when the meal is going to be. That all changed when my sister had kids because mealtime was nap time and we weren't going to get the kids off the schedule. So even when you've had family traditions for a long time and you think you know, communicate anyway. Hey, is this year going to be the same as usual? You know, lunch around what or dinner? It's kind of weird. We do have like dinner in the middle of the day for a lot of people on Thanksgiving, but
Yeah.
you
I
know,
call it
the big
dinner.
meal, yeah, like whatever you call it, the big meal, when that happen, when is that happening? When am I supposed to show up? How long do we need to stay? These are things you really want to get down no matter what. And then there is no rule that says you have to stay at one house with one family. If you can make your Thanksgiving work by doing, you know, appetizers with one group, the main meal over here, and pie with someone else, that's fantastic. And kudos to you for being able to balance that schedule and all of those contributions to whatever meal you're attending. But it's really up to you, whatever is going to make your Thanksgiving work. And I am going to put out there, if you need stress breaks, those are okay to build in. I certainly build in a walk with my joint on my Thanksgiving day. The family knows it. It's like, that's not the walk the kids are going to come on with me. Like Auntie Lizzie's going somewhere else, like, you know? And so build in what's going to work for you.
Yeah, that leads right into, so we asked followers on social media if they were going to get high while they're home for the holidays. And this is what we got this feedback. I don't know if we have that info available. So this was, I believe, my poll on my page. 81% will be getting high when you're home for the holidays. So does that seem about accurate?
In my world,
from what you know,
totally yes.
Yeah. Can you share some of maybe your holiday gathering weed etiquette? You know, if there is.
So honestly, one of the big things, and you should know anyway, unless this is your first time visiting someone's house, but you should know whether cannabis is going to be considered appropriate at this gathering, or even, I know in some families, even the idea of appropriate to talk about. And I think that's one where we're going to someone's house. Usually we want to be respectful of our hosts. We're kind of in their zone. I'm certainly not going to be lighting up a joint or trying to smoke a bowl, you know, off in the guest bathroom. No need. I can go for a walk outside. You know, I can go find my own. And sorry, say that again.
Oh no, I was agreeing with you. Like, you don't have to light up. You don't have to demand to light up your bong at the table.
It was a delay. My bad. You don't.
This is when edibles really come in handy, right?
This is true. Edibles, I think a lot of people like vape because they think it's not as noticeable as smoke. It can be, so just be aware of that. You might not be fooling anyone in the bathroom with the fan on, kind of a thing. But I think you're right. Edibles, tinctures is a great time to use these types of methods because they are discreet. You know, I'd be really careful with the edibles in terms of bringing a dish. Unless you are going to specifically like a Thanksgiving where either everything's infused or the idea is that some of the food is infused. But you really don't want to be the person bringing the plate of brownies or the infused pie to kind of the mixed bag audience. You know, you want things labeled, you want it clear that no accidents could happen when it comes to serving up something that you've made. And of course, if you've got gummies or something like that, you really want to make sure that you're keeping them on you, that they're not like off in a purse or jacket somewhere where some little hands could find them or something like that. You really do want to be responsible with what you bring and how you choose to consume it, for sure.
Shout out to Uncle Craig. He has little hands. He steals all the time. Here's my question. Do you have any tips for shutting down? You know how everybody has that uncle who's anti-everything? Anti-Hillary, anti-Trump, anti-weed. How do you neutralize that force?
So The best way I've ever found to combat sort of the negative Nelly on the cannabis front is to really talk from my own perspective about why I find it useful. Like when your anti-uncle starts going off about it, I mean, and maybe this is the bad side of me coming out, but I want to engage that. I want to be like, oh, that's so interesting to hear a perspective that is so different from mine, because I do this thing and I grow it. It's like this great hobby that I love, and it's really engaged me and given me like a community to participate with. And I smoke it daily, and I find that when I'm smoking and engaging with it this way, it's like really motivational, and I'm so impressed by the science that goes into that. You know, I try to give it as much of the positive, I'm down with this, I'm totally comfortable with the fact that we have different views on it. Because I think if I try instead to get defensive or try to convince anti-uncle, it's just going to feed more into his comfort zone of being anti. It gives him more to work with, I think.
Right. I totally
I never
understand.
thought of that, like being more anti stuff. So any tips? How about if you're going to be, so take family out of the equation, like if you get invited to a friend's, do you have any tips on etiquette for that? Like what is the expectation or wants, desires there?
I think you want to check in and make sure it's okay that you're bringing weed. I mean, like I have a lot of friends who I don't need to check in with about this at this point. Either they know because it's me and I got a lot of weed that I'm going to be bringing it over and it'll be part of my contribution to the evening, or you just, you know, that they're consumers anyway and would appreciate it. But if you're unsure, or maybe this is like, you know, first Thanksgiving with a new partner's friends or something like that, you want to do the checking in. Either with the person who's bringing you or the host, to make sure that it's okay that you bring, I don't know, maybe we call them Thanksgiving party favors, like, you know. But this is a time in my life, at least, where I really love to gift cannabis, to celebrate the sort of entertaining and hospitality aspects of it that are so much fun now that legalization is really out there. So I'm bringing different size joints for different times in the meal. I'm bringing, you know, definitely some kind of infused pie. Like I want to engage with it all and give people a chance to, I mean, this is literally a holiday where you sit around and just eat. It's not about presents. It's not about like some particular moment of the day. This is like built for the munchies. This is perfect. And so I want to give people as much chance to engage with that as possible. But that's just me. I love the munchies.
I don't know if either of you guys had this moment, but I remember like, because I started hosting a lot of Thanksgivings, maybe, I don't know, in the last like 6-7 years. And when I realized that turkey's actually like kind of easy to make, like not to discount, but like you really just throw a bird in the oven. But once I realized, I mean, hey, if you want to fight me on this too, you can call the Wowee hotline. I am obviously in a mood, but when I realized that like I can cook a turkey like any time of the year, you really realize that Thanksgiving is, no offense, such a ridiculous holiday. I mean, it's great for getting together,
what
but like,
is happening?
I'm not being negative. No, I'm just, okay,
best.
do you want me to really get... Oh, David, you know history, don't you?
I know that there's a lot of historically fucked up days that we celebrate. Let me just have my football and my turkey and my sweet potato pie with people who I'm uncomfortable around. You don't have to break it all down. It's a day off. It's a Thursday.
I'm just saying, listen
I
to
would
me.
never forget the weed.
I'm just saying it's very empowering to know that if your Thanksgiving is here, I'll flip it. If your Thanksgiving ends up being fucked up, that you can go home and make a turkey in March if you really wanted to. I'm just saying.
That makes sense.
Don't put so much pressure on yourself.
That.
And we
that.
stole this land from Native Americans.
Who are you telling? We didn't steal anything. Anyways, that's a whole different week.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, it's complicated. It's really, it's very divisive.
Yeah.
But that
Lizzie,
meal
Lizzie, I'm sorry. I don't know why.
No, I'm on your team. Don't. Julia is the Grinch. You're getting me hyped for Thanksgiving over here. Like watching you talk, I'm like, I can't wait.
Yeah. Do you guys do like, how do you do your turkey? Do you in the oven? Do you base it? Or we gave up on turkey in my family and started doing a porchetta. Like it was like,
Whoa.
everyone, we want like, we're big, my parents are big fans of Italy, and that like rolled pork with all the seasoning, it goes with all the side dishes really well, but it's not that like giant bird for 4 people, you know?
Oh,
Like,
we've
Yeah.
we've been doing a fried
love a
turkey
bird.
the last
Fried.
3 years.
Ooh.
Outside.
oh, that's good. That's good. Just in case.
Yeah, we're not.
Lizzie, I'm
not one of those
gonna
monsters.
I'm gonna blow your parents' mind right now. I am gonna be a downer and say I don't eat pork anymore. So sorry,
Okay.
but
Okay. So
I grew up having my mom used to make stuffing with prosciutto in it.
Oh, so good. So good. So good. Nice graphics. I dig it.
Prosciutto. Yeah, tons of prosciutto in our stuffing.
Your mom made you that incredible meal for Thanksgiving. You have the nerve to come out here and down talk Thanksgiving? It sounds like you have incredible memories.
I'm gonna do all the things. I do have wonderful memories. It's a wonderful time to gather. It is a wonderful time to get high and eat all the food. I'm just saying maybe it was a sad day for me personally as a grown-up when I was like, hold up. They sell turkeys year round? Like I didn't, like when the veil was lifted. You guys, I'm ruining today's episode.
I get what you mean. I wouldn't like it if they sold eggnog all year, so I get it, I guess.
Okay.
I just bought 2 things
know
of
what I
eggnog
mean?
yesterday.
Is it out?
Yeah.
So good.
Oh,
Eggnog
shit,
is
I didn't
out.
even know. Oh man, why isn't this Nog week? We'll talk to HQ. We'll talk to HQ.
Yeah, we're gonna. Lizzie, do you have any tips for people who are hosting to help keep them sane? It can be weed related or not weed related.
Totally. I mean, we are like almost a week out at this point, so plan ahead is a little bit maybe like we're behind that 8 ball at this point. But I feel like really, as a host, this is one holiday where sort of communal meal is traditional or really common. So it's really okay to lean on guests to bring things. You don't want to completely micromanage what they bring. One way that I've always been really impressed that my mother handles it is to ask people, what's the one favorite dish that you really have to have at the Thanksgiving table? And I think that's such a welcoming and inviting way of trying to get someone something special at the meal for them. But it's really okay to ask people to bring things. It's okay to also get people to pitch in with help. For a long time, when our family would do really big Thanksgiving dinners, you both had to bring something and kind of agree to a task. So it might be like filling the water glasses, but when the table's all set, it might be, if you were unlucky, it was bringing out the trash or doing the dishes. But like, it was, everyone kind of has some kind of helper task that they do. And that can be a really good way to just not feel so overwhelmed by this picturesque giant meal that a host is supposed to end up with on the table, and this fully functioning, really easy gathering sort of dinner lunch thing that happens. It's really okay to ask for help from your guests on this particular holiday. It's also okay to make the holiday yours. If on the couch, plates on laps, paper towel napkins and the football game on is what makes you and your family or you and your crew happy, then there's nothing that says this meal has to be at a formally set table or, with even a toast or anything like that. Like, make your Thanksgiving your own is probably one of the biggest things that we could suggest, and feel confident in doing that.
Amen.
Right.
Okay. I don't know who I'm talking to. Before we let you go, we are asking everybody this now. It's a standard Wowee question. What do you think the number one reason that weed should be federally legalized?
Oh my gosh. I think straight up just on popularity alone, we're at, like something like 90% of Americans agree with legalization. I think that's the kind of thing that people really need to pay attention and start passing laws about. I also think that it is ridiculous how often cannabis is used as a reason to incarcerate people. It's completely unnecessary. I think it's terrible right now, the system where just like one state over, the laws are so completely different. And I understand that even with federal legalization, states get to choose on their own often, but it's time, it's past time, it's been past time for a while, and legalization federally would help out so many people. And I think that's just, it's too important to not do it.
Amen. You heard it here first. Lizzie Post says weed is only for popular people. Thank you so much for coming on. You guys can find her on Instagram at Higher Etiquette. Lizzie, it's always the best. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you all. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Get high.